Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to
Hello.
well. First of all, Duncan, I just
Yeah.
gotta say, it's a Wednesday morning.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up this morning a happy boy, a happy man, because
Oh.
I'm a Star Wars fanboy, and there was a new episode
Oh.
of the Book of Boba Fett. But in a single tweet, you managed to ruin the show for me. Now, thanks to you, all I see is Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that, but
Oh,
silly
I'm
Frank, we
waiting for
won't
him to
be able
start
to
to put the gun down and start talking about ivermectin.
we won't be able to talk about that in like 7 episodes or so
I
because we got
know.
to talk about July
July, I
2021.
I'm actually excited to talk about July because I
No
watched some good
kidding.
stuff.
I do
Um,
think we're gonna have some movies that overlap, so we're gonna have some interesting
are you gonna have some
conversations.
Marvel things? Oh, I have two Marvel things.
I got one Marvel thing.
Did you watch Loki?
Oh, two Marvel things.
Okay.
Whoopsies.
Alrighty. Well, we're not gonna start with Loki. We could do that second because if you don't mind, I'd like to take the lead on this one.
Frank, I would love nothing more.
All right. So I watched an oldie but a goodie for me.
Hmm.
Um, I know you have your feelings about Chris Nolan. I think he's God. Yeah, I went to film school. Kill me. I don't deserve to live. I know.
Let's
Um,
hear it.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh.
Yeah, somehow went from my bottom to my favorite.
So this
And
is the third one, correct?
yes, and
Okay,
I don't
okay.
know what it is. I think it's just where I'm at in my life. Something about seeing a man just thrown in a pit, beat to hell, left to rot while his city burns. I but
You found it relatable?
I don't know why. Just I like the story of being knocked on your ass and
Mm-hmm.
finding a way to get up. I just find that inspiring. It lights my fires. It makes me want to kick the tires.
Aw.
Um, I don't know. I watched that movie and I'm just like, I live in a pretty violent city. I just want to go down there and start punching people. And I don't know.
Oh, I see.
No.
It's a direct
Um,
inspiration.
no, I just like I like the motivation of the not letting bad things get you down.
Yeah, that movie is absolutely about just one man getting thrown a cavalcade of shit and able
Yeah.
to like fight through it.
um I agree. Big fan.
Mhm.
Um I sound terrible.
Oh,
I feel
well,
like
why
my
is
voice.
that, Frank?
I can explain. We actually had plans to record another podcast, so you would have gotten one the week after. However, ladies and gentlemen, making her grand debut in 2022, I caught Rona.
Yup. This is a guest starring episode, and the guest
Yes,
star
guest
is
starring coronavirus
coronavirus.
herself. I'm okay.
Good.
Day one was terrible, but we're doing good.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm happy to
yeah,
hear that you did not
I
succumb
highly
to the
recommend not
disease.
getting it.
Okay, let's talk about Black Widow.
Okay.
Wow.
I've seen this one in the theater opening
Ooh.
weekend,
Okay.
and
Well,
I went to the showing where nobody was. Thank God. The theater I go to,
hmm.
I really like. I actually work there. Don't tell
Hmm.
me. Um, but it's kind of nice because it's like this is how I describe it. It's like a half AMC, half like run down indie theater, and
Oh,
I love.
okay.
It's my favorite theater. I've gone there ever since I was little. Um, it's my favorite theater. I love the atmosphere. I just love everything about it because it feels like an indie theater and I independent theater, and I love it.
Hmm.
I love seeing like big movies there too because it doesn't feel. It's got this weird feeling to it, and I love it. But
Yeah.
this was July was actually the first month I went back to theaters, and I saw 3 films this month in theaters, and Black Widow being one of them. Um, the first 20 minutes of this movie was fantastic.
Mm.
I was so excited. I was pumped. That opening credit scenes felt like Zack Snyder. I was like, I love that. Like, I think that has the best credit sequence in a Marvel movie.
What about after the 20 minutes, though?
Well, see, that's where my problems start because, and here's the thing, I think they did the best they could have with this movie.
Hmm.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Avengers, Black Widow's dead.
Like pretty dead, yeah.
And this one just kind of felt,
It's very hard to like revisit the thrilling origins of a character you just saw fall off a mountain.
here's the thing. I think they could have done it actually really good. I don't think this was a story to tell, first of all.
Yeah.
I think you could have told a really good story where it should have taken place maybe between the 5 years of the snap.
Oh, interesting.
And I think you could have done some sort of like Godfather 2 sort of thing where you kind of flash back and see like
Oh.
that. You get that first 20-minute thing.
That's interesting. Yeah, if you use
that's
elements
spread
of
out
this
throughout the
movie in flashbacks.
And then maybe we see something like her parents make a sacrifice themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's sort of like foreshadowing what the decision she's gonna make and how that sort of influenced that. I think you could have made something really good where obviously we know she's gonna die, but
Yeah.
make it so that scene is more painful when we watch it, because this movie didn't do that for me.
I'm with you, honestly.
And it sort of just sets up Florence Pugh, who I thought was great, and I really like her character.
You know me, anything Florence Pugh's in, my jaw's gonna drop to the floor, my eyes are gonna bug out of my head, I'm gonna go awooga. You know, I'll rate anything she's in 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
But this movie,
Did you watch Fighting with My Family yet?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
She's goth in that one. I had
did
to
see that when it first came out. We were like, I don't want to see some WWE movie.
That was before I knew Florence Pugh was in it. But yeah, Black Widow.
Speaking of that, I watched Little Women I showed the fam Little Women the other night.
What they think.
Fans. That's a great movie.
So good.
I bought the Blu-ray. I'm pumped. I love it. I just think that whole cast is phenomenal in that movie.
Yeah, Florence Pugh for sure.
I always forget that like Meryl Streep and Bob Odenkirk are in it, and then they pop up. I'm like, what the hell? Oh yeah. It's a good movie. Watch.
They would have stolen the show.
If you're planning on watching Black Widow, just stop and watch Little Women.
True. That's a good review.
That should be the mantra of our podcast. That should be the
anytime you start watching something, debate putting on Black Widow, or not Black Widow, debate putting on, just put on Black Widow for sure.
Yeah.
It's better than anything I've ever seen. Frank, what did you watch? Hold on. You see my posters unhinged. Hold on.
You gotta fix your poster in the middle of our podcast. It's the professionals. I hope he shows this this video. Oh my god, what is he doing? Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I was away from my buds. I couldn't hear you. Okay, Loki. Let's talk about that.
Okay, yep, that was I also watched Loki.
This show was very fun in the moment, and then as soon as it was over, I thought about it, and it was like, it's kind of weird.
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I'm just gonna give Marvel props right now. The production value of their TV shows has like far exceeded the one of their movies. Like I'm like, these generally just look and feel like, it feels like the directors actually have like more of a say, where like I feel like visually the Marvel movies kind of just get like they have.
I would agree.
The same way.
I'm sure they think of their TV shows as like lower stakes, so they give the directors more like freedom.
Yeah. I enjoyed Loki. I feel like my issue with like the Marvel shows thus far is I feel like even like with the new Spider-Man movie, I'll say, is like I feel like they keep bringing up multiverse, but they're only ever like dipping their toe in it, and I feel like they're fast to like take it out.
Yeah.
They did it with like the Quicksilver and WandaVision, and like I love the concept of the TVA, but I felt like we never got into it, you know?
Yeah.
And like
you always
I'm
like
happy
see it
this
through
one's
the
getting
window.
a season 2, because I feel like of all the shows, this one could have a really solid season 2.
That's true. I think this one has the most room to explore. And I think that's because it didn't explore that much.
Yeah, and I think they're saving it for like Multiverse of Madness, which I think that's one of my most anticipated films of this year.
Yeah, that's
Sam Raimi directing. My God.
I know he's your man.
He's my God.
You already said Christopher Nolan is your god. You got two gods.
No. I like Christopher Nolan. I get a little cliche film school about him, but like Sam Raimi to me, just like he understands what film is and he doesn't take it too serious, and I love that. I love that. Yeah, I enjoyed Loki though. I think Tom Hiddleston, like he can carry a series, like he can. He's got the charisma and the charm. I like the character of Sylvie a lot. I thought she brought a lot to the table. I think it's hilarious that Loki is like in love with himself, essentially. Like I think that's hilarious.
It's pretty
Um,
funny.
and Owen Wilson, you can't go wrong. I hope my man gets his jet ski in season 2.
It's a funny plot point. Yeah. I think they're utilizing the actors they have for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
a
kind of curious to go back and rewatch Loki. Like I feel like of all the
Mhm.
shows, that's the one I've kind of wanted to go back and rewatch.
Mhm.
Um, I really like what Marvel's doing with TV though, for the most part. I wish they were more focused because I feel like some of their shows they try to put a little too much into them.
I would agree.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, just focus on the character. Like you have great characters, just focus on them. Like
Mhm.
But I digress. I enjoy it. Um, and if they want to hire me, I'm right here,
There it
baby.
is. This is all a job application. Yeah, well, Loki is a solid recommendation. Go into it expecting a decent time, and it'll be nice.
Yeah. What is
All
this?
right, Frank.
What is this again? July? I
This
forgot.
is July.
This is
Yeah.
July. We both shared that one, so I feel like you have to go again because you probably have 5 now,
Oh
right?
God. Well, okay. I have something on my list that was definitely a movie my grandpa made me watch.
Yeah.
But I
And now
don't.
it's time for our favorite segment. My grandpa made me watch it.
There's a plumber in my house. You'll have to give me 1 second, please. So you just run out of water, huh? Yeah, for some reason it's not staying heated. Never a dull moment in this goddamn
I was gonna
apartment.
say I've seen the pictures of like your apartment just flooding constantly.
I live in hell, Frank. Well, as I was saying, there is a movie on my list called
Should you explain to the people why you're whispering?
Yes, there is a man in my house and he is fixing my plumbing. And I don't want him to hear me talk about movies.
What movie are you talking about?
Well, okay. I had to just look it up right now because I didn't remember it. It's called Stripes. And
Oh, is this
yes,
with Bill Murray?
with Bill Murray.
This is on my list on Netflix. Should I keep it on my list?
It depends on how much you like Bill Murray.
I enjoy
Because
Bill Murray.
okay, then you might enjoy this.
This is a grandpa movie, correct?
My grandpa made me watch it. Yes.
Somehow that line is even better when you're whispering it for some reason.
This movie is about Bill Murray, who joins the army, and the drill sergeant is kind of a nag, but he inspires his platoon to take it casual. It's every Bill Murray movie ever,
Oh,
and it's fine, but if you have to watch this movie under duress, you're not going to enjoy it. And that's
Yeah.
the perspective I went into it on. This was like an afternoon. I just wanted to chill out, play video games, but my grandpa was like, put on Stripes, and there you go.
That is so funny, dude.
I don't find it funny.
So Stripes, do you,
It's some whatever. Who cares? Your turn.
I'm going to talk about a comedy, and then after this, I have 3 horror movies I watch.
Oh wow, busy horror movie for July. Huh.
I watched Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar.
I remember this promise in the last episode where you just kept talking about this. I've never heard of this.
This movie is, first of all, just look up a picture of the poster.
What? Oh my God.
So this movie is wild.
Jesus Christ.
I believe it's on Hulu, and it's probably just the most over the top just thing I've ever seen in my life, and it was 100% worth a watch. I thought this movie was just hilarious. Like it's just so absurd. I don't know how it got made. It was one of those ones.
Just 2 white women going to a beach.
Yep. They're like, it's them on a cruise, and it's one of those movies where it's so stupid that it's so funny, and you can tell everybody making it was just like, what would be the dumbest shit ever.
Okay, so it's at least like kind of self-aware.
Oh, it is 100% self-aware.
Okay.
It's so funny, dude. It's on Hulu, and it's worth a watch. I don't know how else to describe it. I was laughing. I think my dad was watching with me. He thought it was like the dumbest thing I've ever made, and that only made it 10 times more funny for me.
I'm sure.
It's hilarious, dude.
Well, if you like it that much, I might check it out.
It's like I don't even know how to describe it. There's like a super villain in it too, and like it's
Wow, this movie looks insane.
it is insane.
Color palette just cranked to 100.
Oh yeah, no, it's just like contrast to the highest. You're gonna have to hold your microphone up because our audience deserves.
I watched
It's
Twilight.
a little bit too close because now it's
So my sweet and lovely girlfriend is a big fan of the Twilight franchise. And not to spoil the next episode, but I watched all of them with
Yeah.
her. And of course, we start that journey with a single step, which is the first Twilight movie.
So have you seen all of them?
I have.
Are you talking about them all this episode?
You know what? Yeah, fuck it. This is just all the Twilights. This franchise is, okay, to be fair, it is very fun if you go into it with no expectations, because it very much is about this dorky girl and then like all these like mythical monsters fighting for her, and there's no reason why. She's as
Isn't it
bland
like
as a day-old piece of toast. She's got no qualities, and just every monster in a 5-mile radius is just going goo goo bananas over this girl.
Goo Goo Bananas.
And they like, the whole thing is set in Washington, so for me it's a little bit of like
It's
a
like
pride thing. But yeah, just like this entire vampire dynasty is like dethroned over this one girl just like sitting around.
You know what would be the funniest thing
Mhm.
is if on the other side of your door your plumber is listening to you talk about Twilight, but you're like whispering. But I remember in the 4th grade at my elementary school, there was this wooded area.
Oh,
And it was always during recess. You stay out of the wooded area because there was like I think there was like a
they literally said like, don't go into the forbidden forest.
Yeah, no, there was like a 10-foot drop down like around the playground. That's why they were like they didn't want kids getting hurt and liable.
Oh
I
my
remember in
god.
the 4th grade, there were these 2 girls who were Twilight fans, and they started getting into it over Team Edward and Team Jacob, and they got into a fist fight. And they ended up like pushing each other down the 10-foot drop. And I remember the teachers had to come out and break it up.
Oh my god. I don't want to laugh at that, but that's pretty much what all of the movies are like. It's 2 people fighting in the woods. If you're gonna watch this movie, don't do it sober. You got to be smacked to enjoy this. When I watched this, I was sipping on some Trader Joe's peach wine. It was the best time of my life.
Trader Joe's peach wine. Well, is that all you have to say about the Twilight saga?
Frank, take us away.
We got to get into the horror movies.
Ooh.
So I'm going to talk about one. You know, one of my favorite directors is M. Night Shyamalan. I adore the man. I love him.
You love him.
So he had a new movie come out this month called Old, and I rushed to theaters to see it. And I have to say, I think this movie had studio interference with it.
Oh.
Because it genuinely feels like there's a really great movie in it. If some scenes were extended, like it just feels like they just randomly cut. And I'm like, I feel like there was more to this movie that we're not seeing. And I wonder, because it was Universal's first big release, if they just wanted to be short to get people out of theaters so they'd feel more comfortable, basically.
Oh, that's interesting. Because like I have heard this movie is like either people love it or hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked what was there, but I was hoping to love it. And I feel like somewhere out there's a cut that I would love of it. The premise of this movie is insane. The way this movie is shot is like just insane. There is a sequence where the kids are playing freeze tag on the beach, and the way it's shot is so incredible. And I was just watching this like in awe.
Really?
This was the second movie I saw back in theaters. And this was where I realized, oh, this is why I don't like movies, because the guy next to me just would not stop talking throughout the whole thing.
What?
And yeah.
It's your first time back in theaters and some guy's chatting the whole time?
No, this was my 3rd time back. My apologies.
Oh.
So I was happy. The theatrical experience, which I love so dearly, was back, and this guy had to come and take a poop on it. But that is neither here nor there. I really enjoyed Old. Like I said, I would love to see an extended cut of this film. I know there wasn't one released with the Blu-ray. If it exists, I would love to see it. It is a recommendation. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's the first thing you need to see. I definitely think the next two movies I'm going to talk about are like, you've got to watch these.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but I think Old is a really, I'm holding out that there's someday gonna be like, that is like, I don't want to die without seeing a director's cut of that movie. Like because it bums me out because I think the movie's okay and it's like, I feel like it could so easily be great.
So my grandpa made me watch this one.
Two in 1 month.
God damn it. Okay, I watched the original Westworld.
I didn't realize there was an original one.
Yeah, this one came out in like 1970 or something.
Mhm.
It's the story you know and love. It's a cowboy theme park, but everyone's a robot, and then all of a sudden the robot's gone haywire, and all
You
of
have
a
an
sudden
alarm going off over there?
that is the plumber.
Okay.
My
Well,
life
okay.
feels like Westworld sometimes, in the sense that everything's going haywire, and it all wants to kill me.
Oh my gosh. So how was it? Because you're a fan of the show, right?
I was a fan of the first season and a half of the show.
Does Grandpa watch the new show?
No, he does not. He does not have HBO Max or whatever.
Okay. You think he would like it?
No.
Yeah.
The new show is much more interesting. And the original is very, I don't want to say cookie cutter, but it seems like they got their premise and then they stopped. They're like, cowboy robot, put it on a poster, go.
And just see what happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think this movie does have a lot of interesting qualities, especially if this was like the only thing out at the time that was doing this kind of thing. And it does propose those questions of like, does capitalistic greed justify the ends it makes and the sacrifices of regular people? Blah, 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 blah. Who knows? Who cares, honestly? This movie, I think they just had like a cowboy set in the back lot. And they were like, let's
We got to do something with this to get our money's worth.
Right. They're like, Star
Whatever
Wars
movie
is big right now, but all we have is this Western set.
Like whatever movie they filmed on it last tanks and they had to get their money back on it.
Oh,
They're like,
exactly.
got
They
to
had
do
to-
something with it.
They had to get the deposit back on the Western set. So yeah, you know what? Medium-sized recommendation if you like older movies, but
Do you recommend if people
otherwise-
are a fan of the show that they check out the film?
Oh, not at all. No,
Okay.
this will ruin the show for you.
Well, that's good to know. So I watched a movie that came out a while back ago, a few years back. I know there was a sequel release this year. I heard it wasn't too good. I didn't check it out. Have you seen the horror film Don't Breathe?
No, I haven't,
Oh
but I know
my
about it.
God. First of all, this movie's incredible. You know what I love about the horror genre that I don't get a lot?
What's
I
that?
love it when a scene is just so grotesque and so it gets me so on edge that my body curls up into a ball and I have my eyes covered and I don't want to look, but I'm peeking through the fingers, but I'm ready to shut them at any second. And that's what this movie did. I won't spoil anything. All I'll say is I'll never look at a turkey baster the same
God
way.
damn it. I was hoping you wouldn't talk about the turkey baster. I know what that's about. God damn it.
What do you mean? Do you know what I'm referencing?
I do. It's disgusting.
Yeah, no, this movie was nasty.
And they made a sequel about him.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. I'm like, why does the sequel star like him?
Why are we supposed to root for him all of a sudden in the sequel?
Yeah, no, you lost me at the turkey baster. Like,
Yeah, it never got better from the turkey baster. Nobody's going to know what we're talking about. Don't look it up. Don't
Yeah,
watch
no,
it. Just imagine the worst thing you could possibly do with a turkey baster, and like this guy does it. It doesn't involve a turkey at all. Sorry to burst your bubble.
I watched this movie. I was watching this movie, and my dad came home from work, so he
Oh.
joined us halfway, which I think is the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
That's poor
The
timing.
worst thing you could ever do. It was like, what the hell are you? The second he pulled up the turkey baster, he was
Oh my god.
oh my god, that movie was so. Here's the thing. It's genuinely a really good movie, and I do recommend seeking it out. It is not for the faint of heart, though. I'll tell you that.
Well, of course not.
Oh my god, like it's just It's a great premise. Essentially, it's these kids break into a blind veteran's house to steal money from a safe that he has. But this guy is like highly trained, so like, but because
No,
he's
he's
blind,
Daredevil. Yeah.
they could be standing like right in front of him. But if they move or make a noise, like this dude's gonna frickin' like
It's like
kill him.
Daredevil and Home Alone combined.
That is a brilliant description.
Except the guy's a psychopath, evil.
Yeah, except I don't remember Kevin
murder.
McAllister with a turkey baster.
Oh my god.
But I actually really enjoyed this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very good watch. I mean, if you love horror, this is it. Like this is,
It doesn't get more this than this.
yeah, this is definitely more grotesque sort of. Well, I don't even think it's that gory, really. It's definitely a thriller. It's got you on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, but yeah, that it's a wild ride. Would you check it out?
Yeah, probably. But
It's a good
you know,
watch.
I'll go into it with like my guard up. Goddamn turkey baster.
Goddamn turkey baster.
My last movie of July was Space Jam 2.
Oh no.
This movie, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This movie sucks butthole. This movie,
A lot of the top 10 lists of worst movies is number one.
it's impossible to watch. It's straight up like I don't see any redeeming qualities of this movie.
Yeah.
Because if you like one element of it, it's going to throw it out in the next 5 minutes. Like it changes so quick. It's such a like, have you seen this?
I have not, no.
So you have no idea what happens in this movie?
I've heard that like during the final basketball match, like there's a solid 15 minutes where people forget that they're playing basketball.
Oh yes, the rules of basketball are thrown out the window because
Yeah.
the whole point is that it's a video game now. So there's like power-ups and score multipliers and like at some point it's just not even basketball. I'm not a Looney Tunes guy, you
You're
know.
not?
I enjoy them for what they are, but I don't like have a tattoo of Tweety Bird above my ass or anything, you know.
Yeah.
I'm also not super familiar with like the Warner Brothers IPs.
Yeah.
So like when the movie's just throwing
I was gonna say that's it.
everything.
Yeah.
I even the ones I recognized, I felt nothing because they're just out of focus in the
Do you have like a
background.
favorite one? I know, don't they do like some Game of Thrones stuff? Did you at least enjoy it?
No, because it's completely taken out of context from the show. Like I think what it is like in the stands you can see like Pennywise talking with one of the White Walkers, and it's like I don't feel anything from this. I feel like this movie was made for like the online websites to be like top 25 Easter eggs you didn't see in
Yeah.
Space Jam
I remember
2.
also seeing a lot of that when the movie came
I
out.
feel like this movie was made in order to get free press
How
from
was
these kinds of sites.
Don Cheadle's
Don Cheadle is clearly
just taking the paycheck?
pretty much, he's having fun with it. I think him more than anyone else. Like I feel
What
like
about who stars in this? Is it LeBron?
this is LeBron James.
And how is his acting chops?
Like there's
Uh-huh.
what he's so flat. When he has to do the voice work for when he's animated, it's even worse. Like
Really?
it's you'd think it'd be better because he's not on screen, but it's so much worse.
Oh my god.
Look, I love the man as a basketball icon, but the
Is he a
dude,
cartoon for a good chunk of the movie?
yeah, like a good third of it.
Okay.
I watched this movie with my little brother, who laughed the whole time, and I don't think it was because he enjoyed it. That's my
I would have
review.
loved to watch this with Ian. I feel like that's
You know what? Yeah, don't watch this movie and wait till you're here, and then the three
Yeah.
of us will watch it.
Okay.
All right, take us home, Frank.
Alrighty. I think I will. What choice do I have? I watched A Quiet Place Part 2. And this was the movie to get me back to theaters. And there's a lot of hype for it for me, and to me it lived up to the hype. I love that a movie this big and mainstream like has the cojones to just be character focused.
Cojones?
Cojones.
That's a naughty word in Spanish.
You okay? Duncan has run to the plumber. We'll be back after this short break. I don't think you can fix the leak, you guys.
Okay, I rudely interrupted you. What were you saying?
I forgot something about A Quiet Place Part 2. I thought this movie was great, lived up to the hype. Oh my god, it's incredibly directed. The opening sequence alone, I think, is just like the best horror set piece of the year.
Hmm. Wow. Yeah,
And
that's the one you see in the trailers, right?
yes, where it's like before and like John Krasinski's in it,
Mr.
and it's like
Krasinski's there.
Johnny Boy. Um, I really liked A Quiet Place Part 2. I highly recommend. And I'm gonna say it. It's my top pick of the month.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
that's kind of awesome.
yeah. I recommend getting the surround sound on, putting a subwoofer under your butt, and just having a good time.
That probably didn't come across
That
the way
I
you
was gonna say that
wanted.
implied something I didn't mean it to, but
Well, I enjoyed the spirit of your message.
it's the way John Krasinski intended it to be.
I don't think he had that in mind.
Oh God. Podcast has gone downhill. I think that's the perfect spot to end it.
Yeah, I guess that's it, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in. We don't condone shoving subwoofers up your ass, but
Shove a subwoofer under that like button and
yes. And hit that subscribe button while you're down there.
I'm sorry, the quality of this podcast was so up and down. What with the plumber entering my house and everything.
Is he gone now?
No.
Oh, dang.
He's just on the couch having a beer watching our DVDs. We will get up to date soon.
We will. It's going to be a wild ride, and we hope you join us for it.
Yeah.
Till then, have fun, be safe, wear a mask, because Rona is terrible. Have fun.
Stop flashing a flashlight at the screen. You're gonna give me a straw. Give me a straw. Oh no.